us, and a lot of the behaviors and a lot of the passion and the toughness that he plays with. I mean, he's seen that every single day, you know, with Ben Wallace and Sheed and myself and Red. I mean, we raised him, you know, we really did, and we're proud of him too, you know. The thing is so funny and so interesting. The things that he does today was so normal, you know, from what we're used to, and it's so abnormal now, you know. It's just how much the game has changed, but we really did. You know, he got a chance to be around us pretty much every day, you know, at all times. Him and Jordan Poole obviously were best friends, and he was on that ride with us the whole time. He was a little young dude. We used to tease him all the time.
Like how old?
I can remember how old he was. I mean, from like late middle school into high school.
Okay.
I can remember him telling us that he was going to Michigan State. We all was like, hell no. A little chunky dude, you ain't going to the damn Michigan State. So we used to tease him all the time. He used to tease us.
Yeah.
Even there's times now, and it's been a little while, but we had a little group chat going where we called ourselves the best five alive, right? She, Ben, myself, Tay, Rip, and then he's on there, and he talks shit, talking about what what they would have did to us, and we talking about what we did to them. Like, it's just fun banter the whole time. But yeah, I've been so proud of Draymond and what he's been able to accomplish, and we all are, to be honest with you. We feel a little bit responsible for that.
All right, well, I guess I'll just start with, everybody saw the news yesterday with Draymond being suspended indefinitely. I think it's something that we worked with the league, his representation, Draymond, just to kind of talk through and figure out, and we think it's the right solution right now. I think everybody obviously wants definite answers and length and all that stuff, but I think for what's best for us and Draymond and everybody is, you know, we help him with the appropriate amount of assistance, and then we judge and base it on his comeback, depending on, you know, when the right time is. So it's indefinite truly means indefinitely, and so I'll kind of leave it at that as far as getting into the specifics of what that's going to look like and all. A little of it's a privacy thing, a little of it's, you know, team policy that we don't get into that stuff. So we'll continue to help him with things, and, you know, moving forward, you know, we got a team that's, you know, pretty good basketball team, I think. The record doesn't reflect that right now, but we've got good depth. We've got a great player in Steph Curry that's still elite, and so, you know, we just are looking to turn things a little bit here, where get things going and, you know, turn the corner. But overall, I think yesterday was a long day. It's been a long 48 hours, but I think today we're in a good place, and got a game against the Clippers tonight. We'll see how we do.
Mike, how do you ensure that something actually changes? Because, I mean, Draymond's been suspended before. Last season, after the Jordan Poole incident, he took some time away to work on himself, but nothing seems to have really changed. Yeah,
I think nothing in this world is promised or certain, so I can't guarantee you that. I can just say we'll continue to do the right things to help him, and I think we've done a decent job of that in the past, and we'll continue to work through it. And we got a lot of parties involved that are. The biggest thing here to me is not the punishment. It's just helping out, giving assistance, and we all agree on that, which is good. That's Draymond, that's the league, that's us, and you know, I'm optimistic we'll get there. But to your question, you know, there's no guarantees.
Will he be with it, like practicing and around the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us the thought process is, I think there's a lot of ways you can go about this, but I think we think for now the healthiest thing is for him to be around, and you know, that it may not be every single day, but you know, we're not jettisoning the guy off somewhere.
Indefinite is pretty opaque. It's assumed that he will return soon, later.
He'll be back when, you know, it's the right time, and that's something that we'll all consider, the league, Draymond, us. It's, you know, Steve and I were just talking, like, anybody that has an amount of games or time suggested or in their head, I'm just telling you right now, is wrong, because we don't have that. I don't think Draymond has that. I don't think the league has that. So anything beyond that is hearsay.
How much does this impact your long-term decision-making on the roster and with Draymond in particular?
Yeah, I mean, I think the bigger impact will be, you know, how we do the next 15, 20 games, and that'll probably determine, you know, where we go more than this specific incident or this time away for him. The reality of the situation is, if you're evaluating Draymond, his ability this year has been great. His availability is not. And so we need him more available because when he plays, he's really good, we're really good, and you know, that's the main thing. I don't think I need any more evaluation of Draymond as a player. We need a little bit more evaluation on this team and the chemistry and the lineups and all that. But from a basketball standpoint, you know, honestly, pretty pleased with Draymond. We want to help him be on the court more, though.
As you said, the next 15, 20 games is kind of critical. If Draymond misses a good chunk of that, does it make it harder to evaluate, you know, other decisions with the roster?
I don't think so, just because I'm assuming him as a huge positive. And so you plug him back in, I think things will be pretty good. So where are we at without him is something I want to evaluate, get an opportunity to see some of these other guys play some more. Look, this team was built around great depth. We've got really good depth that's enabled us to stay in and be really competitive in a lot of these games when we've missed guys, whether it's Gary, Draymond, you know, Steph's missed some games, Chris has missed some games. So one of the strengths of this team beyond Steph Curry is the depth. And we'll continue to lean into that and, you know, we'll see how it goes.
How would you characterize the conversations you've had with him since the suspension was handed down?
Very open, but positive. You know, I think this is something that a lot of people may see as a problem, but we're looking to turn it into a positive. It's at a point in his career and his life where we want to get some things straightened out, and maybe sometimes you need a jolt like that, but I think it's been very positive, very open, and extremely optimistic we can get to where we need to go.
With how important he is to this team, I mean, just how frustrating and disappointing is it that, again, he's going to be missing the unspecified but a longer, you know, amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not ideal. He means so much to this team and organization. His presence in games and being around is huge. So, you know, we'll miss that on the floor every night. And, you know, again, he'll still be around the team. So, you know, he'll be there. But when you're not playing in games, it's not the same. So we're going to miss that. But like I said, we'll lean into our depth. We've got we've got a lot of guys playing really well. That's the good news. You know, we got some guys that we need to play better, but overall, Steve's got a lot of ways to go to get this thing right, and I think we can.
What is your overarching view, though, of this team, 10-13? You mentioned the guys struggling are important guys, and now no Draymond. Yeah, I mean, I think the overarching view is that there's two things I feel are certain. Steph's still elite, and we've got great depth, and from there, I think we've kicked some games away. You guys have seen it, whether it's late game situations, execution, things like that. I mean, I think the last 4 road games we've had against good teams, we've had double-digit leads, and we squandered them. So it's not like we're getting, you know, blown out by 25 points. I think that'd be a different thing, a different feeling if we were. You know, look, I think we're right there, but at some point our record is going to have to change. We're going to have to creep past 500 and start winning some games, and if not, then we got to reevaluate. When you say reevaluate, is that like, you know, potentially big changes? I mean, you have obviously a tax bill that's crazy. Like, what is the reevaluation? I mean, the reevaluation is can we make the team better? That's always the case, and you know, with Joe Lacob and this ownership group, it's always about being better. There's clearly a willingness to spend. They always okay that, and so for us, it's finding a way to make the team better, specifically this year.
How surprising has it been just seeing the starting lineup struggling, yet the young guys on the bench being such a bright spot? It's been kind of the opposite of what maybe a lot of people expected.
Yeah, I mean, the young guys on the bench has not been a surprise. The starting lineup, which has been the best in basketball for the last couple of years, frankly, yeah, that's been a surprise. I thought we'd be better there, shore up our bench, and we would have a really good team. It hasn't really necessarily played out that way, but I think there's still combinations and lineups out there we can put that will kind of right the ship and get things right, and I think Steve will start experimenting with that.
You're on year 1 of a 4-year deal with Draymond. I mean, is it still the organization's expectation that this is a long-term partnership with Draymond? Yeah, I think so. You know, we're committed to him. He's been here for a long time. He's hung a ton of banners and means so much to this organization. And like I said before, I think this is about, you know, turning this thing into a positive and getting better. And so I think that happens, and, you know, we feel really good because, again, his play has been terrific. It's just been his lack of availability that's not been great, and we want to make that better. So the league has made it like very clear, like any incident come with a pretty stiff punishment. Even once he does come back, I mean, we know what the playoffs are like. There's flagrant fouls. There's various situations. What's the concern level that even when he's back, if there's a hard foul in a playoff game, he's, you know, they're just going to say he's gone for the whole series? Yeah, I mean, that's part of the dance we got to walk. I think that's part of the things we need to address. But at the end of the day, his past, you know, transgressions on the court will lead to, you know, harsher punishment. They've stated that. That's just the case. He's got to be aware of it. But
hopefully we can get him to a point where he's still the same high energy competitive guy, and as situations arise, he's got to find a way to regulate that.
Going back to what you first said, so when the league decided that it was indefinite, you guys had conversations with them. Was it just them telling you this is what it is and you agreeing, or you guys like actively working together to figure out what the suspension looks like?
No, there is active collaboration. I reached out in the sense of, hey, we understand there's a punishment that's going to take place, but this is also about, supporting and helping somebody. And so they 100% agreed, as did Draymond, his representation. So we've all been on the same page, and, because you got to work together in these things as league rules permit. For us to have one thing and the league to have another, and crossing over and all that stuff, we all need to be on the same page in this one. I think we are.
What do you make of the rule that they have for Draymond specifically and having to work around that? Do you think it's fair?
What rule?
Sort of the standard that they hold him to in terms of when he commits a foul, he gets harsher punishment.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's reasonable. In an effort to clean things up, they are harsher on past offenders, and those are the rules, and you got to play by them.
How has this year been like for you? I mean, this is year one in this seat.
It's been a lot, but look, I've been around the league a long time. I think I know what I signed up for in terms of different things are going to be coming at you. You can't predict specifically what they are, but fully on board and good with what's going on. Totally understand what I stepped into, and look, I really feel good about this team. I'm working for a great organization. We've got really good players. Again, not happy with the results in terms of record, but I do think we're right there. And the next package of games here, we'll find out.
You mentioned the next 10 to 15 you'll reevaluate things. Do you think you'll be aggressive at the deadline regardless if the record's good? If it's not, maybe it's a different strategy, but.
Yeah, I think I question as to whether to ever be aggressive. I think you got to be open and seek things and look at everything, and if something makes sense, you do it. But I would never do something just to do something. We've had a pretty good track record here recently with making positive deals where, we've been able to look out for our long-term salary spending and acquire good players, and we'll continue to do that.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks for cutting it, Raymond.